Hello, ladies and gentlemen. You're welcome to the conversation of today. It's a business conversation, and the conversation today is how can conscious networking increase and improve business ventures? I don't know what kind of business you are doing at the moment, but I know for one thing is sure, for you to succeed in any business, you should have a network of people around you. It could be conscious or unconscious. One thing is certain, we need the people around us. So join my colleague and myself today, Francois Visage, who is going to be telling us how networking can improve business venture. You're welcome, Francois. How are you tonight?
I'm all right, Vero. Thank you very much for having me once more on your show. I'm really honored to be here again for the fourth time. Wow, who would have believed it? We just started, and then we say, let us make it to be at the last Sunday of the month. I thought that maybe it wouldn't be possible due to the fact of running from one appointment to the other. So thank you for having me once more. And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our fourth business conversation. If you are listening or if you're watching us for the first time, my name is Francois Chukwueemeka. I'm 51 years old. I am a father of a son, and I am a professional handling agent and a professional tourism assistant manager. I am the designer and the co-producer of Francois Visage. It is, our contribution to what we call the transformation and the ecological transition. And before I continue, please allow me to express my sincere condolences to Vera and her whole family for the loss of her father-in-law.
Thank you.
So may his soul rest in peace.
Thank you.
So, ladies and gentlemen, today we are going to talk about how can conscious networking increase and improve business venture. So, networking is the main theme of today's conversation. And what is networking? How do we start building a network? Or what is network marketing? Something that people are used to these past years. Why? Also because of the spread of social medias and many other ways of direct marketing. And before we continue, I would like to let you understand that your first network is your family. So it is from your family that you can have a feedback of what you are doing. For example, if you want to bring out the product to the market, you first of all talk about it to the members of your family. It is from there that one will tell you in a sincere way that what you are doing is, sorry for the word, bullshit, or it is something that is going to help people, really. So you start from the family and then you go over to other clubs you belong to. It might be your church, it might be your sports community, it might be even the community of people who are doing the same business with you. It can also be even your colleagues. You can build up a network within your colleagues. People who have almost the same interests, who like to discuss about the same thing, and from there you go out with what they call mouth propaganda.
From there, you go to what they call mouth propaganda. Thank you so very much, Francois. Ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome to this conversation today. I have observed in the community that many people do not really, they are in networks, but they really do not know how to make use of the networks. And so that has been my concern for the past years. I am someone who believes a lot of not working because I know that it starts with the family. Let's assume we're taking a case study, Francois, that we have my family, we 12, my father have 12 kids, 13, 14, so we are 14 of us in a family. And this is an amazingly big family. So which means that and we all have diverse areas of work, right? Now, let's assume that I was going to come out with a product. I'm going to come out with a weight loss product, right? Now, who are the first people to support this program? Or again, be the triers, those who are going to try this program, and who are those who are going to first buy them? There are these 12, 14 people, 13 people that I have. And these 13 people that I have as family, they have friends. And so now I just want to take each friend, one friend for my 13 brothers and for my big family. So we have 13. So now we have 13, and the other friends have other friends. So you realize that just from our families, we can create amazing, great networks. But
Exactly.
unfortunately, we do not use them. We do not make use of them, either because we are ignorant of the fact that they are really part of the network system to be a blessing to us, or we consciously do not ask. Because I think that even in networking, we must ask. And if we do not ask, then we can get it. And apart from our families, we have friends. So usually people think that it's foreigners who are supposed to come and invest and take care and buy your product. But that's a wrong concept, because if the very people around you don't like what you do or don't buy it, don't patronize it, why should a neighbor who don't know you buy it? So, Francois, tell us, how do we consciously make use of the already existing networks that we have, or the people that we have, make them become our networkers?
Thank you, Vera. This is a very, very important question because there was something or there was a phrase my mom used to tell me when we were small, we couldn't understand. She used to say, charity begins at home.
Exactly.
But the problem is that she couldn't explain it or she didn't explain it to us. And this is also a problem we all have. Or I also had this problem when I just came to Germany. I will invest in something. I will uh, forget to tell Vera, are you hearing me?
Hearing you. When you're talking, I am putting you at the focus. That's why I get
Okay.
behind. So you have all the
Uh,
platform for yourself.
okay, thank you very much. I don't know what is happening. My computer has been cut off.
No, we are hearing you. You are live. We're hearing you.
Okay, thank you very much, Vera. So I will try to sign in again. Stream.
You are in already, Francois. We can
Yeah.
hear you.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Well, as I was saying, my mom used to. Yeah, I can see now. So let me see. Enter broadcasts. Yes. So I can see myself now. Um, my mom used to say charity begins at home. So, but she didn't explain this phrase to us. It is with time that I understood how important it is that when you bring out a project, the first people you have to discuss with are your family members. You talk to them openly, you explain to them where you want to go with your project, who you want to reach with your product. So it is from there that you will now see if the feedback is positive or if it is negative. So if it is positive, or if you know that what you are doing, it is something important and very good, the next thing you have to do is to listen to all the advices your family members will give you. So people who are out there who are listening to us, all families member, if you have young people in your family who have nice project, please do not hesitate to endorse their project. Do not hesitate to support the project. Do not hesitate to go out there and tell people, my cousin, my junior brother, or my far cousin has brought out a new product to the market. Please try it. Don't forget to tell others to also use the product. So this is how networking starts. And from there, you also tell people in your community what you are doing. And let me use the opportunity to tell you again what I said, I think was in our second conversation. Don't be ashamed to tell your people that they have to let money turn around. Let the money turn around the family before the money goes out. Let the money turn around the community before the money goes out. Let the money turn around your country before it goes out. This is how other countries became rich. And please, if you want also your family, your community, your region to be rich, please let the money turn around before sending it out.
Francois, I have a question.
Yes.
Let's stay back on networking. Now, we know that networking is so important. And today we want to find out how exactly we can consciously make use of this networking. And I wanted to bring an example. My husband and myself, we started up a very small network, a group of, we're 10 of us in that group, 10, 11 of us, 12 of us. We're just 12 of us. And we said we will never extend it. We remain 12 persons.
Yes.
And we come together monthly, and we really support one another in their diverse businesses in one thing or the other they are doing. And then we decided to create something together. Now, and this was a conscious effort. We looked at the people we knew we could work along, we can deal with them, we can go on and we can fight and then come back again. We can have different opportunity, different point of views, come back again. But the essence is the purpose of the coming together. That we said we're coming together because we want to support one another. So it's a conscious effort that I'm going to give you 5,000 euros, 10 of us give you 5,000 euros, and then you can have at the end of the month about 30,000 euros, and you can do something with that.
Yes.
And you don't have to have a credit for that. You don't need to have to pay us any what's that?
Interest rate.
Any interest. You don't have to pay any interest. So we do that for everyone. We're 12 of us. And it's really an amount of money that can help you start up something. And then we said we were not stopping there. We're going to do something together so that it binds us again together. Now, if we are having a business together, then you have no choice but to work hard so that your investments don't die, right? And that's, for me, conscious and purposeful networking. It means that we get into a network, into a group, and say, it is because we want to help one another. Now, another example is the big organizations in which we are, like Sompon Social Service. We are in a lot of extremely big organizations. And at the beginning, many people will say, but what is the essence being in that organization? But of course, the essence is that they do lobby work for us.
Exactly.
So I'm not going to be doing any lobby work for social work, because I am in organizations that are supposed to do lobby work for their members. So these are conscious efforts, conscious decisions we take and say, we are going to join a network, a group already that is existing, and their assignment is to do lobby work for us. And so we must not do the lobby work extra. So we pay them some yearly amount of money, and their job is to do lobby work. So now back to the community, Francois. How can we inculcate this attitude, this thinking pattern to the community so that they understand what it really means to consciously get into these networks, and of course pay membership if they have to pay, and also demand accountability for them, but to really successfully get something out of it.
Let us start with what maybe some other people were waiting for. The infographic of today's conversation is this one. GOS. Jump over your shadow. This is something I learned here in Germany when one day I read that du musst über deine Schatten springen.
You have an echo behind you, Francois. I think that two of you. I'm seeing two Francois now, so there's no need for two. So there's one that is, maybe put one on silent so you don't have the echo.
Exactly. Let me see. I have to remove maybe this one. Edit avatar. Stop. Here. Can you now hear me better? Do you still have the echo?
A little, but it's okay now. Much better.
Yeah, because I've off the second microphone, I think. Yeah. So, as I say, let us come back to our infographic of today, which is GOS. Jump over your shadow. This is a person who is trying to jump over his shadow. What is it? It is a way of saying that we have to change our mindset. You know, you don't need to fall in love with somebody to make a good business with that person. So all those who are listening to us over there, please, if somebody comes to you and if somebody comes with a proposal and wants to make a business with you, don't think that you must fall in love immediately with that person to start the business. No. Listen to the person. Listen to what he will bring out as a proposal. Think out, or do what Florenjo told us last time. Turn the stones on all sides and then see what will come out of that discussion or out of that conversation. If it is something positive, take it, and then from there, maybe the friendship will now start developing. So change the state of your mind. Don't think that you must love or like somebody to start using his or her network to progress. It's very important. The new coaches say today that you have to change your mindset. They're talking of the mindset of people who are doing business.
So I'm going to hit on that point because I think that's a very important point.
Yes.
The point you said, you don't have to fall in love with my nose before you accept to work with me.
Exactly.
And this is exactly the challenge we have in the community.
Yes.
is that the enemy of B becomes your enemy, even if you do not even know what has happened, so that you do not even make the best out of your neutral logical way of thinking. And yes, especially for if you are in a business world, if you want to start a business or you want to do business, many people, a lady told me one day, yeah, Vera, I want to first of all be a friend. If I'm working with somebody, I want to be their friend. Then I said, but I'm not interested in the friendship. Maybe in the long run, a friendship can develop. But at the beginning, we have something that is bringing us together. It is that business agenda. So let's stay on the working agenda, the business agenda, have the deals of the working agenda, and then be constructive on that. Right? In the course of our working together, we can see if we fit, if we have the same mind way of dealing, if we have the same kind of principles, right? Then we can extend that to friendship, to relationship, which is no longer on purpose, but maybe relationship that is really a long-lasting friendship, right? And so the question is, how do we jump out of our shadows to be able to create these professional business networks without having this, I must be the friend to this person?
Thank you, Vera. As I've said, you have to jump over your shadow. And jumping over your shadow is also a way of saying you have to make proof of what they call today emotional intelligence. You know, you have sometimes to put your emotions aside when you are doing business with people. Vera, are you still hearing me?
I'm hearing you. You are online, please. I'm hearing you.
Okay. I don't know what is happening with my computer.
Nothing is happening. We are hearing you live.
Can you see me also?
Of course.
Oh my God, I can't see myself. That's
Don't worry, I'm seeing you
very
live.
good. Okay, thank you. So let us continue. As I was saying, you um, you don't need to love somebody or fall in love with somebody or be the friend of that person if you want to do a business with that person, or if a person is bringing something good to you, something that will help you or that will help people around you or that will help your community. You have to put aside some negative feeling. Why? Because if you want to progress, you have to jump over your shadow. If you want to make some positive move, you have to jump over your shadow. If you want to do something that will be beneficial not only for you or for your family, even for the universe, you have to forget some sentiment, or you have to put your feeling aside. But it doesn't mean that you have to suffer because you have to accept the idea or you have to work with that person. No, try to understand that you are also doing something for you, for your family, and for the people around you. So jump over your shadow and listen to what the person will be saying. Listen very well, and then go and maybe sleep, and the next day you can decide if you would like to work with that person or not. And this is something uh, uh, important we have to discuss about in our community, because sometimes when you do something, the other person will say, why should he be rich, and why should I be giving him my money, or why should I give him my address, or why should I be doing advertisement for him, or why should I let him become famous? Why not me? No, don't think like that. Because when you are in a group, when you're in a network, it is always good to progress together. When you progress together, you're also giving the opportunity to others who are coming after you, to develop. And this is the problem many African countries are facing. You can take the example that is very popular nowadays, these past days, with the so-called France Afrique. The France does business with many African countries, not because they really, really, really love them or they really, really like them. If not, they will not come and extract all the golds and all these good mineral resources they have to come and develop other countries. Normally, if they like you, they will extract them and develop your country. But they don't do like that. So it is now for you to come together, forget things like tribal thinking, family quarrel, misunderstanding within the quarters where you are living, and then work together. You can come together and clean the streets. You can come together and evacuate all the dirt you have in your gutter. Don't think that the neighbor will do it or the government will come and do it. There are things you can just come together and work on them so that the whole community or the whole people around you will benefit from that. And this is why networking is very, very important.
Thank you very much, Francois. I'm going to still hammer on that. I have heard often people say, "Oh, we are in this network, but what are we getting out of it?" And I have told people time and again, if you before you get into any network, you must first of all understand what you're bringing on the table, what you have, and why you're going into that network, right? So your goals must be very clear. If your goals are not clear, then you get confused. And another challenge I observe when people are in a group is always like asking the question, yeah, but some of them are ahead, some of them are there. The food is coming only to those who are seated at the table. That's why, personally, if I am in a group, either I am at the head or I'm very active in a way that you just will only but notice my presence. Why? Because all of us in that group come there for a specific reason. And like we are saying in business, it's always about adding value. So if I am in a group of 10 people and I don't have an additional value to that group, then I better leave that group, because then your importance, you're not needful there, you're not needed there, right? And then of course, if you are so valuable and adding so much value in a group or in an organization or in your life of your friends, it's but normal that when they sit somewhere, I mean, if they are logically thinking people, if they sit somewhere and there is a deal coming up, the first person they think about is who? That person adding value to their lives.
Yes.
And so when you get into a network, you don't just get into the network to say, what do I get? But the question is always, how do I bring in so much so that you can't pass me by. So let me put it this way, right? So in the network that I am, even in real strong German structures, they have to know your name. They have to know what you're doing. And they say, hey, this woman is doing an amazing, great job. Not because I have more brain than others, but because I found my niche so that I could serve in that group and could be able to add value, which now in return added also extremely great values to my organization and my business. And this takes me to the question, Francois, how can networking precisely, step by step, improve your business? Let's take your business, or again, for those who are viewing us, how can networking help improve businesses? Give us 3 ways and step by step.
Yes. The first way is, when you join a network, you are having many people who are informed about what you are doing. The people who are informed about what you are doing will also tell others. And then from there, your business will now start, spreading all over. Vera, are you still hearing me, or are you still hearing my echo?
The echo is extremely loud, but I don't know why, but you can go on.
Okay, I don't know what is wrong with my computer today. Let me do this. So if I can do it, I've already said I want to edit the first microphone. Here. Are you still hearing me? Is it better now?
You can go on, Francois.
Okay, so as we're saying, let us go straight away and then take an example, which is my project, Francois Visage. Was training our football team here in Munich. So, on your phone, are you having on your phone? Okay. No, I even off my phone completely. Let me see, where's the second phone?
That's Francois Visage, and with the microphone, there's a challenge going on, but I hope that he's going to clarify that.
So let me move this. Here. I'll shut up. So So the echo is still there or not? Okay. I hope you're hearing me better now.
Go on, Francois.
Okay, thank you very much. So as I was saying, let us take the example of Francois Visage. At the time, I found it out that our football team was in need of jerseys. So I came out as the sponsor of my team. So when we wore our jerseys for the first time, people started asking, what is Francois Visage? Who is behind Francois Visage? What is that? It is after when we won a big competition that people started now talking about Francois Visage and then starting, giving interest and wanting to know what was behind Francois Visage. And this is how you can make a networking beneficial, not only for you, but also for the members of your community or of your network, because somewhere they will be proud of saying, I am the friend of the person who brought out this project, Francois Visage. And this is how you can make network beneficial for you.
Thank you very much. Everything is okay, Francois. We can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, it's even better now.
Yeah.
I hope so. Yeah.
Go on.
Okay, so we're talking about how can conscious network increase or improve business venture, and how we can use it concretely. So I've told you about the case of Francois Visage. Let me take a second example of our brother who has opened a kiosk here in Munich. So he was not well known, so I posted his kiosk in our group of football or soccer players, and they started asking me, Francois, what is the concept behind Tarish food? Who is the person behind Tarish food? So I started explaining to them, yeah, he's a brother, is an acquaintance of mine that has brought out something. So I took the decision to endorse his project by bringing in Francois Pamplemousse. If Charlie didn't open this kiosk, I wouldn't have had the opportunity to propose Francois Pamplemousse there. If Charlie was not maybe an acquaintance of mine, a big number of people wouldn't have known about his kiosk. So I went to my group and started telling them that, look, if you are in need of nice African food on Saturdays and Sunday, do not forget to go to Charlie at Tarish Food. So it's from there that they will now spread all the news, and people will be aware of that. And it is also a way of, creating value. And
so indirectly, you're saying that networking is an indirect form of publicity.
Exactly. Yeah, and not only of publicity, but also of creating awareness. When you are in a network, it is where you get, for example, the latest information, or where you are aware of the next trend. And it's a place where you're also aware of what you have to maybe divide in your life. If there is something new out there that is dangerous for us, people in your network will be the first people to call you and say, hey, Vera, have you heard of this? Don't do this or don't do that. Like about 2 days ago, they told us or they wrote in our group what some people are doing in my native town. They will come where people are organizing ceremonies and then say, oh, a vehicle is disturbing. Please, can you remove your vehicle where it is parked? So if you come out alone, they will now try to steal your vehicle and go away. So they said now in that network or in that community, please, whenever somebody calls you or if they announce in the microphone that your vehicle is not well parked somewhere, never go alone. Go with a group of people because it is the new way of armed robbers or thieves to take away your vehicle. And as I said, this type of information, they will not tell you immediately in the radio, but in your community or in your network, you will be aware of that. The same thing too, if there is a new business opportunity somewhere, if you have a good network, they will contact you first of all. They will say, Vera, there's an opportunity of business here or there. Would you like to jump in or not? If you don't want to jump in, then we'll make it public. And sometimes too, when they make a news public, they already know the person who will get that business. But because
bingo, that's exactly the advantage of networking.
Yes.
That's exactly where I mean, in your conversation, you say it's important to have a network because one, you get information, access to information, which we know that information is power. But of course, the application of information is your superpower, but information is power. Then you have also an opportunity for publicity, almost free publicity, because your network talks about it. Imagine 15 people. I took the example of my siblings, and we had 12 of us or 14 of us, and then we have friends. And if all of us just talk about one person, they will have already done mouth to mouth propaganda publicity for free. And of course, you also add the fact that if there is a business deal, if there is a contract, if there's something coming up, because you are in that network, you're first of all informed. You have been asked. You will be asked if you want to be part of it, and even if it is publicly made, written out there in the intent, they know already who is going to have it. So somehow those are the advantages of networking. Now, the challenge many people, and that's why we have to talk about this a lot in the community, because I realize that many people in the community talks about transparency, and I realize they don't even understand what transparency is, because having an advantage because you are in a network, that's the advantage of being in a network. Has at that point nothing to do with the transparency that we are wanting to have out there. The transparency this network has done is to put the information out for everybody. But somehow the intent people get to also profit from being members of that network. And so that's why for me, networking is A and O, A and Z of any effective person, a business person, organization, especially in Germany. Without networking in Germany, you just won't even go that much far. We have, let me bring it down now to the area of social work. The area of social work, we have like 8 big recognized bodies in Germany, and they call them the Spitzenverbände. So they are the big organizations.
Yes.
But if you're not part of one of these big organizations, some offers you may not be able to offer.
Mm-hmm.
In as much as you're doing a lot of work out there, in as much as you do a lot of activism work, a lot of racism work, a lot of awareness work, a lot of integration work, a lot of any work you're doing, but if you're not part of this system, these organizations that are there, this 8 big, I mean, I'm talking for those who are in the area of social work and migration, then some offers you can't even offer. You will be doing all the works, but you never get enough structural support because you are not in one of those big structures. And so that's why it's so important to have to connect with big structures, or even if they are small structures, but to network with them. Now, for me, and that's a question to you, Francois, how have networking helped you in particular? Because I can write a book about networking, how it has helped my organization, Sompon Social Service, I mean,
Mhm.
the money we have a year to function with has only been because of the possibility of networking. And the question to you, Francois, how has networking helped you, Francois Visage particularly, and how the experience you've had from that, how do we profit? Can we profit from your experiences?
Yes, thank you very much, Vera. This gives me the opportunity to tell you one of the reasons why I'm continuing even with my project, because I had the opportunity to attend a meeting of what they call here Mittelständige Unternehmer. These are small scale industry in Germany. So I introduced my project to a group of about 10 managers. So one of them just gave me his complimentary card and said, if you go back home, call this lady and then tell her you got this complimentary card from me. So I called, and the lady was the owner of a pharmacy, an apotheker, as they call it here in Germany. So when I introduced my project to her, she said, wow, this is something tremendous. I never knew before that young African people like you are all that courageous enough to bring out a product here in Germany. So let us give it a trial. And believe me, Vera, this is something unforgettable. Why? Because it is the first time that you find out that you can produce something and go out there and sell it. So by the time you will be even passing across and see that your product is also in a pharmacy in Germany, I mean, this is an amazing experience. The second one was when something like a meeting was organized with 25 firms, and we had 3 minutes to introduce ourselves. So that was the first time I could put into action what I learned. So that was when the mobile phone were new. So I had an adapter, and then the daughter of one of my colleagues, who was a student then, told me about a keynote. That was a program. It is a program, anyway, a presentation program. So I could download that program, put it on my uh, uh, mobile phone, and when others were coming with their big laptops to introduce the firm, so I just came running up like this, climbing the stairs, and then I just connected my mobile phone, and then I let my mobile phone start turning, and then start telling people what was behind my project. Vera, you won't believe it. 3 people, among them a professor, came and gave me their complimentary card and said they would like to work with me. But I was afraid because I never knew what was the work of a networking. And this is one of the reasons why we are here today. This is one of the reasons why I'm joining your project, to advise the young people who are out there, to tell them how or how, what they should do to go to the next step when they are doing a business. And sometimes this is not well interpreted back home, because people back home, they will tell you that when somebody is successful, he might have done something bad or something wrong. This is nonsense. It is just because we African people would like to mystify what we are doing. There is no mystery in all this you are seeing. These are just sciences and the way of moving from one step to another. The only problem is that there is a level you reach before you go to the next steps. They will not ask you to join maybe a lobby group or a club where maybe you will be paying a big amount of money before they accept you.
Yeah, but and even at that, it is a powerful club. I think that because I think this is where many people got it so wrong in Cameroon. I mean, there's networking in Africa. There's networking, only it's not structurized, right?
Exactly.
The difference between the way the network in Africa is really the dangerous one, because it's really, if you don't have somebody one on one, it becomes so dangerous, right? And then in Europe, they have professionalized networking,
Yes.
so that it is always in groups. I mean, if you said, I'm seeing Bridget said networking is alpha and omega, and I'm talking Bridget because I know Bridget is selling some snacks like ching ching and all this. So if you are selling like this ching ching, Bridget, then you have to have a network in Germany. You have to look for an organization like what we call the Eine Welt. They do it. They would even buy your product in bulk and sell, but you have to be part of them. And when you're part of them as an organization, then you have already an open market, big open market for you. And of course, you have to pay membership to be part of it. Because why do you pay membership? Because this organization is already so stable, and they are doing already a lobby work, right? So if you have to come for me to do, if you come into my organization when I've already structured it, and the whole world, the government, the politicians know about it, then it is but natural that you profit from it, right? In the organizations where we are, we pay a lot of money for networking, really lot of money, but we can't regret it. At times, we have to give, if they work for us, if they give us we can have contracts of about 50,000 euros, and then they tell you that they will get 2% or 1% or 0.1%. I mean, that's nothing comparing to what has come in, right? But if you were not in that network, you will never even have access to
That's
that
true.
support. And
Yes.
the network, what the network does is they really support the work. So that's why you must first of all understand which of the network you're going in, and for what reasons. You don't just join network because you want to join networks. No, you don't just join groups because you want to join groups. You must first of all know why you are in which group. And for those who are in Germany, the diasporas especially, if you have to really succeed, then you have to structure yourself, and then come into those structures, German structures, because another amazing thing with the German structure is what they call the Fünfzeile. And many people don't understand that. The Fünfzeile is like five strong ties, ropes that are tied together.
Mhm.
When you see them outside, you think there are five different companies, they don't even know one another. Wrong. They are real solid friends that
Mhm.
you can't just get into their midst, right? And then one is doing maybe on marketing, the other one is just doing on services, the other one, and they all have services that one another uses from one another. You see, so that when they are doing contracts, then you don't have to do everything on your own. I'm going to go to Francois Visage because Francois Visage is already having a powerful instrument. So Francois give me the service, and then I give Francois the contract. And Francois, when Francois has his own contract and knows that Vera can put up good flyers, he comes to me. So it is
Exactly.
conscious.
Yes.
It is conscious. Now, the challenge we have is the fact that, can we consciously help one another in this our networks? That's a question, Francois.
Yes, we can, provided we do what I told you at the beginning or in the middle. We have to jump over our shadows and understand that we can only progress together. You know, normally this is something that is part of our culture, but at a certain time, the education, started showing us that only individuals are moving faster. But there's an African proverb that says that if you want to go far, take the whole village with you. So it is good to come together, to work together, And if we build up a strong network, that will be even the best way to fight against poverty, to fight also against discrimination, because we don't have to extrapolate the type of discrimination we are experiencing here. No, we still have a long way to go. We have a gap to fill up, and to fill up this gap can just work in a network. And it's just as you just explained, so many firms we are working together. Um, Give me this. Let me use this opportunity again to tell you what I've experienced. I also went to one of these mittelständig meeting. Is a meeting of the, as I said, small scale industries, and I also met a sociologist that asked me to go and contact a firm who is managing 5 doctors. I went there and the man made a proposal. But once more, I was naive because he said, if you want to push your project, Francois, we need about 45,000 euro from you. And after we've done that, you will see you'll be selling many, many products every month, because any person that comes in here in this our praxis doesn't go out without a prescription. And just imagine if somebody has a problem with the skin, we will always prescribe Francois Visage. But as I said, I never had the opportunity to listen to this type of program like the one we are doing this evening to know how powerful networking is. I thought that maybe the man wanted just to take money away from me. No, it is just because he wanted to bring his network together. And these are really powerful networking. Not what people are saying back home, that this has to do with Rosicrucians or this has to do with people who are doing FAMLA or something like that. Anyway, FAMLA doesn't even exist. If you listen well to the story, this was just a networking. Some people who came together and then started, borrowing money from one another, giving the opportunity to one person to grow up. And this even exists in the state or the region I'm coming from. They used to call it Iba Odibo. It is when you go to a master and then you do an apprenticeship for 5 years. After 5 years, you have to decide if you like to work with him or if you like to open your own business. It is common in the Igbo land, but only that we had a certain generation of people who came and then started playing what they call 419. If one of their brother wants to, lift them up through a good network, the person or the other will just take the money and run away. Even my dad had this experience after the Biafra war. He loaded 2 lorries to take to Eastern Nigeria to help people. But what happened? The man who was in charge of the transportation came and said the government has seized the 2 lorries of salt. I'm even anxious, or let's say I'm looking forward to meeting the children of this man so that we'll have an open discussion on that matter. So networking is good. Our parents and great-grandparents, they understood that only that there was a generation that came and started pursuing only selfish ambition.
Networking is good and networking is powerful. Francois Visage, someone is saying that again. Bridget say, Francois Visage, my husband who hardly uses any product says your product is the best. Thank you, Bridget, for this feedback. And so back to the conversation of networking. Time always goes so quick. We can't handle this conversation for just 58 minutes, but it's such an important conversation, and I would wish and hope that many people understand how important networking is. And for those, we have also Rosicrucians here, we have the Lions Club here, and all this. And I know many people also have said, oh, they're a group of sect of people and all this. But to be honest, today, in the networks that I am, someone will say, oh, be careful. The truth about the network is that they have created a lobby work. That is the
Exactly.
power of networking. It is that it is lobbyism.
Yes.
It
Yes.
means that
Don't
a
allow me
strong
to cut you
network.
short. It is just because these people, or some of them, they don't want the mainstream to become rich as they are. This is a
That's
big
this.
problem.
That's why that's the power of networking. Is
Yes.
that, like I said, we have a group of 12 of us. We don't want any other person to enter there, no matter how much you have, because we trust the 12 of us. We want to work with the 12 of us. We want to support the 12 of us, right? And so we were ready to work with the 12 of us. So in the future, even if we are going to put 100,000 euro, 300,000 euro to help somebody, that person will never be poor, because the person is not getting paying interest for that money that they're giving him or
Mhm.
her, right? So the person is getting a big sum of money with no interest. I mean, how would you be financially poor? Now, my brother-in-laws, they are also in very powerful networks where they sit together in Cameroon amongst themselves. These are very rich tycoons. I mean,
Yes.
you can't be poor, and to get into it, somebody must short see you, right? So it means
Exactly.
that when you get into it, now the day that you're the one to have that money, for example, you don't go there if you don't have a business plan already. You
No.
don't get into such network if you don't know exactly what you're doing. Because if they
Exactly.
give you 500,000 euros, 500 million euros, whatever, what do you do with it if you have nothing in your
That is the
head?
question.
So you're
Yes.
not even fit to be in that group. You're not
Yes.
even fit to get into it. So from that perspective, you will be thinking, oh, they don't want kind people to get in there. But you're not fit to get in there, because
Mhm.
the kind of money they talk about is not your level,
Yes.
right? So for you to get to that level, so you can even comprehend the mathematics, you have to also get to certain levels, right?
Yes.
So that we can start at a little level. The conversation today is that start where you are, start with
Yes.
your family, start around, start creating it, even if you are not in one. Start creating one and be accountable.
Mhm.
Be accountable. Do a lobby work. Talk about that organization. We are having the Afro Social Workers Forum now. It started 2019. How we said, oh, this is a network of social workers. So
Mhm.
we have to talk about it. What has
Yes.
happened is that many social workers in this platform now talk about our platform, our network, to their employer, right? So
Yes.
now their employer, in the time nearest future, their employer will have to pay for their workers that are taking part in our network,
Mhm.
right? Because they are profiting from our
Of
network,
course.
right? And so you have to talk about it, and it's lobby work, and it's a lot of lobby work, talking to the politicians about it, getting the market out there for that network. And of course, anyone who has a network wants that their network be the best, right?
That's true.
Because you want to win more people into your network. And
Exactly.
so
And that's why,
networking,
they are telling too many mystic stories about some
exactly.
network groups or things like that. There are books over there. You can go and read them where they present something like that. Even when I was in University of Nigeria in Suka, we had something like that. One of my best friend was into that. But I told him once that, well, you are doing this because you are not psychologically strong enough. Because what you are doing, why are you doing it for? Doing it for? There is no interest in that, and this is where we have to call on our people or people around us. There is this story I experienced here in Munich uh, when I just came. In our meeting, we used to make use of papers. So I came one day with my laptop, and then I told him that was 999. I said, look, my dear, this is how they coordinate meeting today. All you people need to do is just to buy, to give me money. I will buy a laptop, I will program it, and then you will start using it. And then one of them just came out and said, do you want to show us that you know how to press a computer? You know, yeah, this is another problem in our community, that when you want to show people the best way or the best thing to do, they will think that maybe you are just pretending to be something or become something. That's why I always say, please jump over your shadow. Yeah, make a proof of make use of your mindset or of your intelligence exactly, and then try to think otherwise. Yeah, understand that others are not waiting for the poor. Yeah, they are just moving, and
Thank
it
you
is
so
great
very
time
much,
for
Francois.
us.
This is the last word. Others are not waiting for the poor, and others are not waiting. So if we are waiting, then it is waste of time. Francois, last word before we close. It's already 21:01.
Wow, unbelievable how the time flies. Yeah. So Vera, thanks once more for giving me this opportunity to let people around or to know how important networking is. So please build up a good network, and networking is the job of tomorrow. Why? Because with the new technology, it is not sure that the job you are having today is going to be the same job you'll be doing tomorrow or next tomorrow. But if you have a network, you can be informed where they are looking for somebody or where a place is open. Yeah, because there's no guarantee that things will continue being like this after the shutdown, because many companies will go bankruptcy. And then if you have a good network, you can have also somebody who can save your difficult situation.
Thank you very much, Francois Visage. Thank you for joining the conversation. And thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining the talk today. How can conscious networking increase and improve business venture? I'm hoping that you were able to learn something. Make sure you share the link, tag someone who may profit from this conversation. But take home message is your network is your net worth.